Assalamu alaikum. Today our topic is quasi contract. This is another type of contract, which can be called as a quasi. According to the definition, a quasi contract is an obligation imposed by law in absence of any agreement between the parties. Okay, there is no agreement, there is no offer, uh, formally acceptance between or known promise or promisee. A quasi contract is not an actual contract, but is a legal substitute form to impose equity between two parties. Okay, there is no uh, not any actual bonding obligations by the channel of offer and acceptance between the two parties. Okay, but it's like a substitute. The concept of a contract is that of a contract that should have been formed, even though in actuality it was not. Okay, so it is apparently there is no contract, but now according to the concept of quasi contract, there is a contract that has been performed, that has been formed due to certain reasons. So what are the quasi contracts? And we can also call quasi contract as a constructive contracts as well. So what we knew from the definition, that it is not a formal contract, as we discussed before in the previous video, that it was a formal proposal, then acceptance, then there will be proper consideration, and there will be expressly or written or implied contract. So quasi contract is a substitute of such contract. Of course, there will be any offer or acceptance will be available in these type of contract, but it is unlikely available if compared to the formal contracts that we have done before. So what are the types of quasi contract? The first one is the supply of necessaries and payment by interested person enjoying benefit of non-gratuitous act goods, and the finder of goods and payment by mistake or under coercion. These are the five basic examples of the quasi contract. We have also more types of quasi contract, but in this video we learn about these five types of quasi contracts. The first one is the supply of necessaries. According to the Section 68 of Contract Act 1872, if a person incapable to enter into contract or his dependent is supplied by another person necessaries suited to his condition in life, the person supplying such necessaries is entitled to be reimbursed his price from the property of such incompetent person. So if Mr. A supplies, uh, let's suppose we're a lunatic family, and he actually supplies the basic necessities to that family, like grocery, or you can say clothes, or normal daily routine goods. So uh, all family actually has been uh, occupied by the lunatic issues. So if Mr. A supplies such necessaries to that family, then according to the contract 1872, the section of 68 allows him to get back the benefit out of their property. Okay, this is the quasi contract. There is no formal contract between them, just because due to the condition of that family, Mr. A is ready to supply the necessities. So uh, in unintentionally or intentionally, the both parties are now bound into the contract according to the law. And the second one is a payment by interested person. A person who is interested in the payment of money which another is bound by law to pay, and who therefore pays it is entitled to be reimbursed by other according to Section 69. So what are the essentials that should be available in this type of quasi contract? The first one, the payment made should be bona fide for the protection of one's interest. The second one is payment should not be a voluntary one, and payment must be such as the party was bound by law to pay. Okay, according to the section 9, if there is an example that Mr. A has obtained loan from Mr. B, and now upon the date of maturity, Mr. A does not have enough money to pay back the loan or the installment of the loan or the remaining loan as he promised to Mr. B. And according to the contract, if he will not pay, then Mr. B will gonna sell his property and get his sum out of it. So here Mr. C is the friend of Mr. A. He offers Mr. A that let me pay the remaining amount on your behalf. I will pay, and you will reimburse me when you will have, or you will reimburse me within 1 year or 2 years. Now, Mr. C, who is going to pay the loan of Mr. A on behalf of Mr. A to Mr. C, the first characteristic is should be bona fide for the protection of one's interest. He is actually paying for the protection of Mr. A and his property, because if he will not pay, then the property will be sold out. The second one is payment should not be voluntary one. He's not paying voluntary. He will get back that amount from Mr. A in the future upon at any specified time or reasonable time, whichever will be discussed between these two parties. The third one is the payment must be such as the other party was bound by law to pay. He's paying to whom? Mr. B. And according to the law, Mr. A was bound to pay that sum of money to Mr. B. So this is the payment by interested person quasi contract. Here, Mr. C come back by his own will without any coercion or any influence. His consent was free, and he is paying to protect someone and not paying voluntarily, and paying to the that person who is actually bound to receive that compensation. So this is also another example of quasi contract. Now the person enjoying benefit of non-gratuitous act or the good when a person lawfully does anything for an other person or delivers anything to him not intending to do so gratuitously, and such other person enjoys the benefit thereof, the latter is bound to make compensation to the former in respect of or to restore the things so done or delivered according to the section 70. This the very common example of this type of contract is that, like, suppose Mr. A is actually a supplier of goods. Okay, he actually supply goods to all over the city, and due to law and order situation, he actually drop his goods. He actually has to deliver to any wholesaler. He dropped the goods to at his friend's place, and directed him, instructed him, uh, or no, actually requested him that he will collect all the goods till tomorrow morning, and he pay and now, his friend actually uses that goods, okay, for himself or for his family. Now, here, it is not the person who is his friend is actually enjoying the benefit of such non-gratuitous act or goods, because he was not allowed to use such goods, because um, he actually dropped that goods according to the consent of his friend, but there was no contract at all. But if he uses that goods, now his friend is liable to compensate him uh, as much as he uses that goods he actually dropped at his place. So once again, his friend was not bound to pay him, and Mr. A was not bound to get a compensation from his friend. But now, due to his act, both parties now bound under the contract according to the contract law 1872 and section 70. Finder of goods: a person who finds goods belonging to another and takes them into his custody is subject to the same responsibility as a bailee. He is bound to take as much care of the good as a man of ordinary prudence would under similar circumstances take of his own goods. He must also take the reasonable step to trace its owner. If he does not, he will be guilty of wrongful conversion of the private property according to the section 71. If you find any good, then you should take care of that good. Just like if it is your own good, okay? And you have to pay attention, and you have to waste your energy in order to investigate the the honor of this good, okay? If you will not do so, then you will be called as a guilty of such wrongful conversion of the property. But if you find any good, and upon finding of such good, let's suppose the owner of that good has already advertised that if anyone found that good, then he will pay 1 lakh reward to the finder. Okay. Now the finder of that goods, okay, in case one, if there's a reward, it is actually once again is a quasi contract, because he become bound in it. There was no formal acceptance uh, or offer. But if there is no no if there is no advertisement by any owner, then such task he has to do. He is now bound according to the contract that he will have to take responsibility, to take to take care of such good, as a man of ordinary prudence. And he has to find out the owner of that good by his reasonable investigation. Now the last one is the payment by mistake or under caution. If you pays any money to someone by mistake, then that person should be liable to pay back that money to you. Or if you pay any money under the caution, then such person is bound to pay back that money according to the section 72. And these are also type of the quasi contract. So thank you so much.